Alright, so now that we have the basic HTML done for our template or our layout, view, whatever you want to call it, now we have to add the custom CSS. We're using the Bootstrap CSS. As you can see, there are stylings here. We have a navigation bar, we have buttons, styled buttons, list items, things like that, which come with core Bootstrap. But for our custom content, like in here, in the main area, and also the nav bar, we actually want to change around too to look like this. Okay, so it's going to be a different color. It's going to be a little smaller, things like that. All right. So what we want to do is open up your custom.css file. All right, and what we have here now is just what came with the starter template. Alright, so I'm actually going to get rid of this here, the starter template class. We don't need that. And then for the body, I'm going to change the padding top to 60. And we're going to add a few more things here. Okay, we want to add a light gray background for our site. And that's going to be F4, F4, F4. Alright, and that's just a very light gray background. And we're going to change the font size to 15 pixels. Alright, so that should do it for the body. Let's just save that and reload. And you can see that now the font's a little bigger. Background is now light gray. Alright, so I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick. I might copy and paste some stuff. For our links, we're going to have a color, and it's going to be kind of that grayish purpley color. Let's see, 5C5B69. Alright, so that's the links. We also want our unordered lists, and you can notice that these elements don't have a class or an ID. It's basically affecting all of the links and all of the lists. Alright, so padding is going to be 0, margin 0, and we want to make sure that we have list style of none. Okay, so that'll get rid of any bullets. Next, we want our horizontal rule tag, which is basically just the lines that separate certain parts of the content. We're just going to add a margin to. So 10 on the top, 0, 15, and 0. Alright, and the last core element that we want to style are the H3 tags. Okay, so H3, I just want to add a margin to the bottom, 5 pixels. Alright, so that's it for the core styles. Next, we're going to do the navigation bar. Alright, so the nav bar, it's just a class of nav bar. Alright, so we're going to set this height to 40 pixels, and we're going to use the important tag here just to make sure that we overwrite the default settings. And there's actually one thing we need to change in the bootstrap.css file, and that's the minimum height on the nav bar. So let me just see if I can find that. I don't think I already changed it. Maybe I did. Let me search for min height. Oh, just went past it. Alright, so we have nav bar min height 50 pixels. I want to get rid of that. Alright, so we just want to make sure we save that and close it. And get rid of that, and we'll keep working on the nav bar. Next, I want to change the color. So the background is going to be that same purplish gray color. Alright, what else? Border, I want to set the border to 0 and give it a margin bottom of 30 pixels. Alright, now I'm going to paste in some more styles for the nav bar just to move it along. Alright, so we'll start here. We have basically we want the color of all the links, okay, that are in the list item, and also the link in the brand, which is the logo. We want them to be white. Okay, we want the coloring to be white. Here we're just setting a background to none for any links that are hovered, as well as an active link. We just don't want any background for that. The navbar brand is where the logo is, so we're just giving 10 pixels on the top, and again making sure that it's white. And then here we're just taking the links and adding some padding to them. Alright, so let's save that and take a look. Alright, so there's our navigation bar. You can see now it matches the final version. Alright, so let's move on from that. Alright, so next what I want to define is the block class. Okay, so block. And we're going to wrap the main content as well as each sidebar block or module in this class. And basically it's just going to be a white background. And we're going to make we're going to give it slightly rounded corners with border radius. We'll do 5 pixels. And let's see, padding. I'm going to do 15 on the top and bottom and 20 on the sides, and give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. Alright, so let's take a look at that. Alright, so now you can see our sidebar blocks have it, our main content has it. Alright, so the next thing is going to be our main column. So main call, and it's going to have an overflow of auto. Okay, that's it for the actual main call div. Now we want the main column H1, and I'm going to make the font size 22 and a margin of 5 on the top, 0 everywhere else, and then padding is going to be 0 as well. Okay, so that's the H1. Now let's do the H4. Okay, H4 is going to have a font size of 16. Margin is going to be the same, padding's the same. I'm going to change the color to a gray. So color is going to be AAA's. Okay, so next I want to do the sidebar. Actually, let's take a look at it. And what we just changed were these headings here. So if we reload, it looks the exact same. Alright, let me just check the HTML. Did we even do the main column? Okay, it's a class, not an ID. So we gotta just replace this with a dot. Alright, much better. Alright, so now I just want to do these headings over here in the sidebar. And let me just make sure it's a class of sidebar. Okay, no, it's an ID. I'm actually going to change it to class. We'll have to change the inner pages as well, but I'll do that after. Alright, so let's see, we want sidebar block H3, and let's see, we'll do a margin top 0, and padding bottom will be 10 pixels, and we want a border as well, border bottom. Okay, we'll make that gray, solid 1 pixel. Okay, so that's for the sidebar. Next, we want to do the topic, which I believe are these blocks here. I think each one is a topic. Let me just check. We get topics, topic content, main topic. Oh, right here. Okay, yeah. Class topic. All right, so we'll do that. Topic. And I'm just going to paste some styles in here. Okay, so we're just going to give it a bottom border, padding, margin. So padding bottom, and then padding, I guess we don't need that. All right. And let me just grab some more. Alright, so here we have our topic content. We want to span 100%. Our image, our avatar, we want 100%, which is basically going to be 100% of the parent div. So it should make it smaller. So let's save that. And you can see that the div is basically right here. It's the column div. So we want the image to span 100% of that. So it should go down in size. Alright. So that's good. That's what we want. Alright. Alright, so next I want to do the list group. Over here we have it for our categories. I just want to change this up a little bit, change the color. So I'm going to paste this in. Alright, basically we're saying that the active link, we want to have a background of that gray purple color. And we're just setting a border to 0 on each item. So let's save that. Okay, so you can see we sharpened the borders and changed the color. Okay, when you hover, it has a nice light gray, so that looks good. We got rid of the border. Alright, so now I want to do the main topic. When we click, actually, hold on a second. Alright, yeah, so when we click here, the main topic is at the top. We want to differentiate those from the replies, which are below it. So we're going to set a background color for that. And I can't remember if it was a class or an ID. I can't seem to find it. Oh, that's because we're on the index page. I need to be in the topic page. Alright, so ID main topic. Alright, so let's give this a background of light gray. And I'm also going to add some padding to it. We'll do 10 pixels. Alright, next I want to do this little block over here. Okay, I think it's the user info block. So what I'm going to do is just paste those styles in. Alright, so the first one is basically the entire block. We'll give it a border, some padding, font size, the image. We're going to give a margin to the bottom. The list is going to have no bullets with some margin, and then the actual list item, we'll just give it a line height. Alright, so that'll make that look a little better. Alright, so that looks good. So we're pretty much there. I do want to change the color of the primary links here. I don't want this blue. I want to have the same as the nav bar. So I think that is class BTN primary. Okay, it's just the bootstrap class. And I just want to give it this color here. Actually, let me just grab this. Whoop. All right, let's check that out. All right, good. Hover, I'm also going to change. Actually, we'll just leave that. That's fine. All right, form looks good. All right, I'm actually going to take this hot marker out for right now. And if we have time, we'll put it back later. Alright, so that should do it for our CSS. Next, we will finally get into actually programming this with PHP.